it's Shawnee. Welcome back. Today it is time for our weekly roundup where I go over all of the eyeshadow I used over the past week and we rank them from least liked to most liked. Now, typically I do like all of the palettes, but this kind of helps me reflect on whether or not it's time to declutter something or whatever. So this week we have 5 slots, but 6 products because I used 2 of the palettes together. And to be honest, I wasn't feeling any look this week. I ain't like none of them, okay? But there are, Rose, don't start. Do not start. What was I saying? Yeah, I didn't like none of the looks this week, but there are like a couple that I disliked a little less. You know when you just have those days, weeks, months, years, when you just are not like feeling yourself, and I wasn't feeling myself this week. Like I just wasn't here for me. You know, I just wasn't here for it. I don't know. Leave that alone, please. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's this one over here causing so much stress and anxiety. Y'all know I love my cat. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Number 5 is actually not a palette. It is an or it's pretty versatile product, and it is the DANESSA MYRICKS COLORFIX Matte in the shade Real Love. Now, I actually really like the DANESSA MYRICKS COLORFIX, especially the matte ones. Those are my faves. And I've really also come to like the COLORFIX Nudes as a little bit of foundation and concealer. So nothing wrong with this product. The look was just kind of boring because it was just for like a casual night out. So I wasn't given a lot, you know? I was just given like real casual, just throw something on, and that's fine. But I just wasn't like super excited by it, you know? So this is in number 5, and it's just not a palette. It's not an eyeshadow palette. In number 4, I actually have it back in the drawer. Is this the right one? Yes. Yes. It is the Pat McGrath BLIZT Astral Quad in Iconic Illumination. Why did I say it like that? Iconic Illumination. And I do like this quad. It's not my favorite quad of Pat McGrath's, but it's one that I like. I actually really like the tones. If you're into like seasonal makeup, this would be a really good like fall makeup. I did this, or I used this for doing my makeup at work, and it was fine. Everything blended perfectly. It's like your regular Pat McGrath stuff. I did enjoy the fact that I was able to tote it around in my makeup bag and it was safe. Nothing broke. I did keep it in the box though. So I might consider taking the quads more often to work, but honestly, I'll probably just stick to the 2 little minis that I have and the 2 5 pans that I have if I want to use a Pat McGrath palette outside of the house. So that was number 4. Number 3 is Menagerie Cosmetics Sugar High Palette. Now, again, if you're into seasonal stuff, this is like the perfect spring, summer kind of palette. Really bright, very punchy. The shimmers are amazing, and the mattes go really well. I would say I probably like their shimmers more than I like their mattes. Nothing wrong with the mattes, but the shimmers just, honey, they shimmer, okay? Shimmer. Cat. I'm sorry, y'all. She's in her teenage years. So I liked this one. This was like a bright look for me. I liked it fine. No, I didn't really like it, but it's not the palette's fault. It's just that I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't feeling it this week. So this is at number 3. I would say if you haven't tried Menagerie, you should totally give them a try, especially if you like shimmers that are just bright, soft, and easy to blend. They do it well. Number 3. Okay, what's number 2? Was that number 3? That was number 3. Number 2 is the Viseart Sultry Muse palette. Now this is an all shimmer palette, but I often use this shade here as a deepening, kind of buff out to almost a matte kind of finish. So I'll take one of the brighter or lighter shades and then use this one as a matte to blend things out. And this is one of my favorite palettes from Viseart. This one and Paris Nudes are both all shimmer palettes, and I just really like playing around with these. Viseart has great products. They're easy to blend out. I like that they're now in a more like sleek, less bulky packaging. I really appreciate that. And now they have a lot of their palettes in like petite form, and that's always nice to just have less packaging, so things fit nicely. And honestly, we don't need huge pans of eyeshadow, especially if we have quite a few of palettes. So this was at number 2. And number 1, are you ready? Are you ready? Number 1. Now this brand just came out with something else, and I love this brand, but I don't love that price tag that they just slapped on that thing. Nope. But what I did like was using my Plain Jane Remastered palette from Adept Cosmetics. I just really love this palette. I love like all of the shimmers. Now, this is an all shimmer palette. There are some duochromes and multichromes, and it's kind of harder, like unlike the Viseart palette where I feel like you can actually use some of the shades more as a matte. There are no mattes in here, and I really wanted to pair this palette with another palette, and so I paired it with my focus palette of the year, which is just a bunch of kind of matte neutral singles that I have that I want to use for the year. I am definitely getting some usage out of this brown here. I don't know if you can see, but there's definitely a dip, and these are all Sydney Grace singles. So basically, y'all know I have trouble holding things at the same time, so let's maneuver that. Okay. So basically, I used these two together, and this was my least disliked look of the week. So, I don't typically have weeks where I'm like, ew, I don't like anything, but hey, it's just what happened this week, and we'll figure it out in therapy Tuesday at 3, okay? Let me know what you use this week. I always like hearing what you're using. Hopefully next week goes a bit better. We'll see. I have to think about what palettes I want to use next week, but I might go to some of my like old faithful favorites just so that I can feel into it again next week. Again, let me know what you use this week or what you plan to use next week, or if you have any ideas or suggestions of what I should use next week. Now, please be sure to like the video. Also, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you are taking care of yourself, and I hope that some of this was helpful in some way. So, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.